What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and due to the international break, we are here to cue your monotonous boredom going into the international break with no Premier League football. Forget England versus Albania. It's time for some unpopular opinions. I've got John Cooper here with me, and we've got a whole host of unpopular opinions all sent through on Twitter, and we're going to go through them, we're going to react to them, and we're going to give our opinions on your unpopular opinions.
Unpopular opinions.
Unpopular opinions on your unpopular opinions.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little addition to the dynamic, wouldn't it?
Exactly, reacting to the reaction of the unpopular opinions. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
You looking forward to this?
Yeah, you like some. You know I love these.
He is the king of unpopular opinions, John. That's what he is. All right, let's start off. Let's go for the first one. Joshua Ayamundi. He says, we can't have both Skip and Højbjerg on the pitch. Yes, they work well together, but it's very defensive and we lack a creative build. Maybe either one of Lo Celso or Tanguy needs to be on the pitch to create more deadly chances. Do you think that's true? Do you think we can't play with Skip and Højbjerg together?
At one point this season, I thought you needed to have those two together, but now I can understand the argument where you maybe need something else in there.
Do you reckon it's the change of formation has done that potentially? Because I think maybe with a 4 at the back, you can maybe need to play Skip and Højbjerg. With a 3, I don't know, maybe it gets a bit too defensive.
Maybe, yeah. What about their actual performances? Do you think they sort of dropped off a little bit? I
wouldn't say they've dropped off, but before it was like having a Skip there was getting the best out of Højbjerg, but then all of a sudden when we're playing a better team, and then relying on Højbjerg to go forward and Skip just to sit, it's just not enough quality on the ball, and maybe we need someone to pick lock up or have a bit of composure in the centre of the park.
Well, they've got Lo Celso and Tanguy. They should be rotating a little bit with those, I think.
Will we ever get into a position where they're just one of those two are just
we
consistent?
We always wanted
like
Højbjerg, Lo Celso and Tanguy to play together, but that never worked, did it? For some reason.
Not yet. We're still holding out hope.
Yeah, I actually still am holding my hope for that.
Conte can do it?
I guess if anyone can, he can. But that's what we want to see, isn't it? But I do see that argument. It's not creative enough at the moment anyway, yeah.
All right, next, let's go to the next one from Alex Lawrence. He says, Tottenham are always so late to give our youth players the call up to the senior team. Like Jaffet got promoted late. Markande would have been promoted by now. The list goes on. It's not good enough.
Jaffet Tanganga, he did get the call up quite early on.
Well, he was what, 20 when he got called up? Are we too late? Do you think we could give youngsters more of a chance early on?
Well, we're giving Scarlett a go now, aren't we?
And more out of lack of resources, probably, isn't it, in the attacking line? In terms of I remember back in the day with Harry Kane and stuff, he didn't break into the team until he was 21. Could he have been benefited from breaking the team earlier? Maybe not.
Not for Harry Kane. I think he was a late bloomer, wasn't
he? A bit.
Few of our players had to go on a lot of loan spells, didn't they? Townsend, Rose.
Who I'm trying to think. Winks, he got a chance fairly late. Skip, he got a few chances. He was brought through fairly a decent
I actually
time.
thought Skip could have been played a lot more. Like the last 2 seasons, he could have featured a lot more. I thought he was ready, even. Do
you think Tottenham could make more use of their youth academy? Do you think we make the most use of it? It's hard to say, obviously, without knowing the quality. We don't know
until we see what they're like.
Yeah.
We've just got to put faith in the coaching staff that they're seeing these players develop and they're actually placing them into the team when they're ready, when they're ripe. But I mean, who knows? You just don't know. We're not in that position on the training ground, are we?
True.
But if you look back on our youth players, which ones do you think should have been unleashed earlier, or do you think they came at the right time?
You could maybe argue Kane, but I can't think of too many other things that they weren't released at the right time. They just waited on too long. And there are players who've seen the rundown. Noni Madueke, yeah, that's definitely one. Noni Madueke, he's gone to PSV and ripping it up. We didn't give him a chance. Maybe Markande, we should be giving him, but he doesn't look ready, Markande, what I'm seeing. He's just so lightweight.
Some youth players, you can see them, they're ready. Remember, I know it's a one-off, but Wayne Rooney, when he was 15, 16,
he was ready, yeah.
He was the best player at Everton immediately, I mean, he's a little bit of an enigma in that sense, but occasionally you do get youth players that come through and are absolute beasts, But at the moment, you don't really see that, do you, coming through?
Not at the moment, yeah. I think there's quality, but it just needs a bit of time.
Yeah.
Next one. N17ADL says Eric Dyer is decent and should be in the first team and better than the current England centre backs.
Oh my goodness, that is an unpopular.
That is definitely an unpopular opinion. Should Eric Dyer be back in the England squad?
Oh dear, I don't know. I mean, he's just as we always say,
No,
he looks good enough for 89 minutes, but Eric Dyer just has the brain farts in him that will cost you loads of points during a season. When you total them all up, they cost you a lot.
Yeah.
Now, can he play for England and put in a good performance? Yeah, he could probably get through 90 minutes unscathed, perhaps, But over a series of games, he's going to cost England, seriously.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I wouldn't put him in.
I think we've got Maguire, we've got Stones, Joe Gomez for me is a lot better. Tyrone Mings is probably a lot better.
A lot ahead of him.
And also, it's not like Dyer is young. He's 28, 29. I don't think he's getting back in the
He's not cerebral enough. He's not cerebral enough. He's too clumsy.
Mm-hmm.
And,
agreed. Not aware.
I think we've seen enough
well.
that cannot come out of his game, no matter how much coaching that guy can get.
All right, next one from AlexZingel. This could be a good one for you, John. Lucas should be converted into a right wing back under Conte. Bringing back the best striker formation in Son and Kane, Lucas would thrive in that position. Do you think Lucas will make a good right wing back? In the back three, on the right-hand side, he's kind of, bursting up. He's got a license to attack and go forward.
He likes to cut inside. That's the thing. And his strength is about getting to the central areas and being very progressive on the ball and doing a lot of the things in the intangibles, I call it,
Mm-hmm.
Not the things that it's rewarded through stats. It's the little things that you can't really even, there's no metric for it. He'll just little burst of pace, get the ball moving quickly, and then it will start an attack, but no one will remember that initial moment. And I don't think he will be as effective doing that on the right hand side, for instance.
And
I also don't think he doesn't have a cross in him.
Yeah, his crossing's not very good.
His crossing is no good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I can see the argument for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it would work. I also think giving him I think he's a hard worker, but giving him extra defensive responsibilities on a right wing back, I don't think it would help him. I also, as you say, in that position, you need to be very good in the final third on the right-hand side when you get in that positions. And I don't think he has it in him to be whipping in consistently good crosses and stuff like that. And also, recently, his best performances have been central, haven't they?
Central. I mean,
so I don't know about him a right wing back.
What about playing him a little bit deeper? Centrally.
Centre mid.
Yeah. Because if you actually watch him, when I know he's considered a forward, when you're actually watching the games, he's dropping very deep to collect the ball. Sometimes Højbjerg's further ahead of him.
He would offer something different, but I don't think he has in terms of when you're a central midfield player, you need to be able to move the ball very quickly and have a vision about you, and an eye through ball. I feel like he'll dally on the ball too long. For Lucas, I feel like with Lucas Moura, one problem I always have with him is when you give him the ball, I feel like he always has to beat a player before he releases it again. He can't just pop it off pop a quick pass and move.
I think he plays the right pass. I think he generally plays the right pass.
His passing's not generally that great.
And he opts on the side of positivity and fizzing the ball through tight spaces, whereas another player would go sideways.
That's the thing. He forces it a lot. I feel sometimes he's patient.
Sometimes he can, but I think when it works, it sets the tempo, and I think he actually creates the tempo for us in a lot of games.
I feel like he might be a bit of a headless chicken if he was in centre.
I don't think. I'd quite like to see him there rather than not on the team sheet. In terms of right wing back, I reckon Bergwijn could probably do a job.
Bergwijn is better fit. He's much better.
Would be a better crosser. Fit. Hugging the touchline. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I think for me, Moura's best position is centrally. But I don't know. So I don't. Unfortunately, Alex.
I don't agree with that. I agree with that. Del Piero's shin guard in the next one.
That's a good name.
That's a great name. Says Dele Alli would be a perfect fit for right wing back. Play Emerson as a right centre back, or even right wing. Dele scored all of his goals coming late into the box. That's okay. That's one thing. Is a good point because in this formation under Conte, it's going to rely on a lot of people arriving in the back post late from full-back positions. But Dele Alli as a right wing-back, I think, is a recipe for disaster. I can't see him being effective at all in that position.
I mean, you do see him drift out wide in a lot of games.
Imagine him dominating a wing. He'll get smised.
He just doesn't have pace.
Imagine any sort of winger or anything against him. Anyone against him, he's just not putting a tackle in, is he? I can't see it. Or he's not going to be very good defensively.
No, I mean, give him credit. At the beginning of the season, he was actually putting in a lot of effort, wasn't he?
And there's one thing putting in effort, and there's one thing being a good defender.
He's quite aggressive early on this season,
I know, but it doesn't mean he can compete as one of the best right.
Oh no, I'm not saying but I just think the impression that we get is that he's not combative enough. He's not aggressive enough. But actually, the beginning part of this season, even the stats, he was like the top of the stats in terms of effort running off.
He was over a short period, but it's like for example, Højbjerg being aggressive and, I don't know, Ryan Mason being aggressive, right? Yeah. Like, if like Højbjerg and Nathan could both make the same amount of tackles, but Højbjerg, because Højbjerg's a lot stronger, or something, you know, it makes a bit of a difference. Just because you are putting in the tackles and pressures, exactly, doesn't mean you're actually good at it. Yeah. Just means you're attempting it and you're putting in the effort, but doesn't mean like you're natural. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I can't see that one either.
Yeah, I think Dele at right wing would be terrible.
Bergwijn though, we need to get more people with the Bergwijn for right.
I think I like Bergwijn. All right. And that is the first episode of your Unpopular Opinions. Thank you, John, for joining me. He's going to be on a few more as well. We're going to be mixing it up. Ben is going to be on some, Ben and John, and then me and Ben. And so we're looking forward to different partnerships. That's the first episode. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.